Oh, it's just a skywriter doing skywriter things. They're just making thingies in the sky. Where's AOC now? With shit like this going on. Green New Deal proponents don't address chemtrails. They don't even acknowledge they exist. There's one right there. There's a few up there, but this one's prominent. And how do you like your skin cancer? Boy, oh boy.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil, chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Let me start off by saying I scheduled to be at the Trump rally. I missed it, but that does not mean that I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm a diehard Trump supporter. And I've proven that time and time again. I put my money where my mouth is. I paid my dues. I paid my dues in life, in every aspect of my life. And there are cowards out there that want to deny that there are chemtrails. These big-time Green New Deal proponents. Let me tell you something, buddy boy. Not one of them addresses chemtrails. They don't even acknowledge that chemtrails exist. And this is a problem. This is a problem. You want to talk about saving the environment? You want to bring out 16-year-old girls with Asperger's to say, how dare you? And you don't address chemtrails. People don't want to believe that through things like chemtrails, modifying viruses, creating poisons, masquerading as the cure for these viruses. They exist, and they are a means of population reduction. There is a goal by the wealthy elite, the ruling class, to bring the population, the world population, not just in America, but throughout the world, down to a manageable level. This is really happening. They really want to do this. If you don't want to believe Alex Jones, and I wouldn't blame you for that, because he is a sensationalist for no reason. But logical, reasonable people who weren't nuts, like William Cooper said it years ago. He specifically addressed AIDS. AIDS was made in a lab in Arizona on purpose for the purposes of population reduction. And people want to come in and yell at me for it and make a counter statement. If you're a regular Mojo, why are you making a counter statement? This is harmful rhetoric, blah, 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 blah. Who sent you? Who paid you, and what is your stake? Why you violating? Why you gotta hate? Every time I make a post about William Cooper, by the way, I get an ex-coworker that comes on my Facebook that says, good riddance to bad rubbish. Why? Why is the person that warned us about the Illuminati and the New World Order bad rubbish and good riddance to it? Why? Why say that? Are you a pawn of the elite ruling class? I think people that say that what goes on in Masonic lodges is completely harmless to society are working for them. Every day inside of every Masonic lodge, there is some sort of plot about world domination going on. And maybe not all the members are in on it. But if you're a certain rank, you're probably left in the dark about it. But you get up in those high ranks, you get to be a CIA operative in cahoots with both sides of combatants in a war situation. I don't know what's going on, but I have a few ideas about that. Proponents of the Green New Deal are too lazy to do the research, and if they find out and know in their hearts that chemtrails do exist, and they are put out there on purpose to screw up the population, they're cowards that don't speak on it and continue to tout the very harmful Green New Deal agenda. There are people that are wise to this. There are people that are wise to the elite ruling class. They know that Donald Trump, in spite of all his money, is not part of that club, and they're going to vote for Trump. And the rally at the Garden went well. The rally at that club, the rally at Madison Square Garden, I should say, had a greater attendance than the last WWE event that was there. Many of the WWE wrestlers, in spite of The Rock being apolitical 4 years after supporting Biden, in spite of beta male Dave Bautista, who is now emaciated, calling Trump the little bitch. There are a lot of ex-wrestlers like Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, Kane, and The Undertaker supporting Donald Trump. You know who else does for sure? Big Papa Pump Scott Steiner. And yeah, this is how I like my Republicans. I don't like my Republicans boring. And Vice Presidential candidate J.D. Vance shows me that the Republican Party has a bright future ahead of it. But let's get over this frickin' hump before anything. We have to defeat Kamala Harris. We have to defeat her. Throw her out of her vice presidency seat, lock her out of the presidency. Hell, we could get away with making her put in the time that she had demanded judges sentence to people that didn't commit crimes, that she had thrown in jail in spite of withheld evidence that could have exonerated these people. You know, she should sit those sentences, sit out the remainder of those sentences. I mean, poetically, that would be justified. But, you know, the law is the law. You got to respect the law. And I'm sure the people she put in jail undeservingly, didn't want that. They just want their freedom. Hello? No, I'm not. No. No. All right, I'll have a bagel here. All right, thanks. Yeah. As you get older, your older brothers check on you more than when you were a little kid. When you're a little kid, you're annoying. When you're older, they experience their aches and pains with getting older, and they want to make sure that I'm not having to cope with life, getting those aches and pains right behind them. And they want to make sure I'm fed. So that was my brother checking on me to make sure I ate. But, you know, that little segment, you know, just shows you that I am a human being. Did I say human? Joe Biden can't talk. So anyway, where was I saying? Yeah, Kamala Harris can't talk. Kamala Harris goes against everything it means to being a human being. She inhumanly threw people in jail that didn't belong there. She took black fathers out of homes. She especially abused the black community. She took black fathers out of homes, stuck them in jail for marijuana possession, and had them do these big, huge sentences as if they were major drug cartels, but does nothing about fentanyl pouring into the country. And I saw a clip of J.D. Vance on some talk show, and he was saying, imagine if these migrants came up from Mexico with guns and shot and killed 70,000 people. That would be considered an act of war. Well, you know, there's bioterrorism, there's biochemical terrorism, there's chemical warfare. Why don't they label it and rebrand this fentanyl trafficking chemical warfare? and hold the people responsible for it. I don't think it's the Mexican government that's directly responsible for it. I think they're just, I just think that their law enforcement is weak and overwhelmed. And we should offer help to our neighbors down south to get rid of that thorn in their side, which are the fentanyl traffickers and the fentanyl manufacturers. Get those biochemical terrorists in jail. Jail. You think Kamala Harris will do anything about it if she's ever elected president? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Donald Trump's going to win, though. I heard the rally went very smoothly. I've met people who came home from the rally and said, we're looking good for next week. I believe New York could even turn red. That's how bad the Democrats have gotten. I mean, I always knew Donald Trump would make a good president. I believe he was a good president in his 4 years that he was president. And he's going to do an even better job this time around because he's bringing in people that are genuinely trustworthy this time. Like, for example, his running mate. I believe his running mate is an upgrade from Mike Pence. And this is going to be too big to rig. This is going to be too big to rig, as Donald Trump says. And when Donald Trump gets in, drill, baby, drill, and build that damn wall. And hopefully, God willing, he could do something about these chemtrails. But if the building and drilling happens, that alone will be good. If he's got Robert F. Kennedy on his staff, there'll be somebody representing Donald Trump addressing the chemtrails for sure. Because Robert F. Kennedy has addressed chemtrails in the past. This is man's attempt to play God. Create things that kill people from within. The coronavirus, AIDS, HIV, who knows what's in these chemtrails, who knows what's in these vaccines. The only acknowledged thing that I know about is that there's bits and pieces of dead human beings in there. No, it's embryonic remnant, blah, 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 blah. It's bits and pieces of a former life in the womb that was savagely hacked out of a womb. And instead of thrown in the garbage first, cut up into little pieces to put in these vaccines. And then whatever was left was thrown in the garbage. That's what's in these vaccines. And because I believe in and respect God, I got my religious exemption not to have dead babies injected in me. And yeah, we need to come to a realization that we need a president that acknowledges that he's not the greatest in the world. And that acknowledgement goes to Jesus Christ. And Donald Trump has said that on numerous occasions. And on the opposite side, you have their presidential candidate telling someone who names the name Jesus that they're at the wrong rally. In other words, Jesus Christ is not welcome by the Democrats. They are the party of men with blue wigs and bikini tops competing against women in women's sports. They are the party of insane kindergarten teachers leaning over to little Billy and saying, maybe you're meant to be a girl. They are the party of baby-killing sluts and cat-eating savages. They are the party opposed to civil liberties. They are the party opposed to free speech. They are the party opposed to petitioning the government. They are the party opposed to public assembly. Actual public assembly, not the nightclub public assembly. But they're probably opposed to that too. They are opposed to publicly admitting that you are a Republican. They're the party that suppresses evidence that proves the buffoonery of people in their camp. Evidence of gain-of-function research at the Wuhan lab with Dr. Fauci there every day. Like, every day. That was like his 9 to 5 to do this gain-of-function research and oversee it. He was in on the release and spread of this Wuhan lab virus that we call coronavirus or COVID-19. And the Democrats are the party of that. They are the party of the same Dr. Fauci who fumbled and stumbled and miraculously never found a cure for AIDS. But they have this money-making scheme where AIDS patients can go and get these pills as a treatment for AIDS. And let me tell you a little bit of something about that. I'm not against that. If the choice is that or dying, of course, I recommend people that are going for these treatments get them. But understand they could have made something that cured it altogether. Please understand that. And the cure existed since 1975. William Cooper said so. It's true. The Democratic Party is the party of unvetted people coming into the country, nothing known about them. Maybe some will work and put in hard days work and put in their 9 to 5 or their 8 to 6 or their 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. and go home to their families and support their families and such. Maybe they'll give back into the economy and, buy at supermarkets and car dealerships and clothing stores. But you can't rule out that among those people coming in are murderers and rapists, because it's in the papers, baby. It's in the papers. So they are the party that is okay. The Democratic Party is the party that is okay with the double rape and murder of a 12-year-old girl named Jocelyn Nungary. They're okay with this. They want this to happen over and over again. The Democratic Party is the party of chemtrails and denial that chemtrails exist, while very hypocritically pushing a Green New Deal. The Democratic Party is the party of cowardice. You just look at the cowards that are part of that party. AOC, Kirsten Gillibrand, Jerry Nadler, Hakeem Jeffries, Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, and Tim Walz, the cuddly coach, who has a checkered past, and someone coming forward saying that he touched up on him when he was 14 years old. That he forced this 14-year-old to give him fellatio. I'm not saying it happened, but there's a man out there that said that when he was 14, that Tim Walz made him give him a blowjob. The Democrat, whether that happened or not, these things do happen between adult men and adolescent boys, and the Democratic Party is the party that's okay with that. AOC is a coward. She touts the Green New Deal, but denies the existence of chemtrails. Kirsten Gillibrand, oh, she is so much a coward. You could tell she's a coward by her silence. Her silence is approval of every sick, insane thing that comes out of the mouth of the other New York Senator, Chuck Schumer, who I like to call Schmuck Schumer, because boy, oh boy, is he a schmuck. You gotta be a schmuck to talk about releasing whirlwinds on Clarence Thomas and Brett Kavanaugh. You gotta be a schmuck to compare Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. As a Jewish man, you should know better. And he supports Hamas. Kirsten Gillibrand's silence is approval. It's like a rubber stamp to all of that fanaticism. Get rid of Kirsten Gillibrand come November 5th. Yeah, I know a lot of you watching this are going to vote for Trump and Vance, and God bless you for that. But don't stop there. Vote for Mike Sapercone for Senate. Get rubber stamp Gillibrand out of here. If you live in the 14th District in New York City, the before-mentioned AOC is in a re-election stage. You got to support Tina Forte. We got to fire her. We got to get AOC out of there. Fire AOC and get Tina Forte in. Get Tina Forte to march into AOC's office, which will no longer be her office, and say to AOC, clean out my desk, clean my office, and get the F out of here. Speaking of Jews that support Hamas, you need Jerry Nadler to get out of there. And we got a fine candidate against him by the name of Mike Zembluskis, who's very outspoken lately on the faults of flaws of having another 2 years of Jerry Nadler. This is going to be very interesting, this election. Of course, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance versus Kamala Harris and the cuddly Coach Ted Waltz. We know who the winner is going to be. I'm going to be bold enough to say Trump's even going to win New York from the looks of that rally in the Garden last night. Respect God. Watch out for the Illuminati. Follow and share my content. And if you're in New York at all, make a stop by George's Diner. Get something from them. Stay strong. Keep kicking that slang.